Hello, and welcome to my workshop. So I just figured I'd do a little tour of my workshop to show people what kind of equipment I use, what I find useful, and how to set up a workbench. So let's begin. So this is my workshop here in my basement, and you can see I have all kinds of useful items. Up here I have speakers, Bluetooth speakers, because you need to listen to music while you're working on things, right? I've got the Fluke 9010A, which is one of the most useful pieces of equipment you can have if you want to fix arcade games. This lets you plug into, via this thing, this lets you plug into the CPU board of a game and actually control it from the Fluke. You can test memory, you can read and write to memory, you can run code, you can do all kinds of crazy things. You can read ROMs and check them from the CPU's view, so to verify that even if your ROMs check okay outside, that from the CPU standpoint they can see them. Really, really useful piece of equipment. If you can find one, pick one up. They haven't been made in years, since like the early 90s, I think. They used to be super cheap on eBay and stuff, but they're not too easy to find anymore. But if you can get one, pick one up. They're one of the most useful tools you can have. You can see here I have my workbench, my JAMA test bench. Built it myself. It's just a box with a power supply inside. It's got the JAMA adapter, and it's got some buttons, and you can plug a joystick in here. I have it hooked in so you can plug a Sega Genesis controller, or my Genesis controller. Oh, there it is. You can plug the Genesis controller, actually two of them, into there. You want to test things. It's got a little voltmeter there. If you're building one yourself, get a voltmeter with two units of precision. When I built this, I just did one, and I really wish I had two. Trust me. Got one of the most important tools you can have. Actually, not really. Honestly, this is one of the least important tools. I mean, you gotta have one. But you can't do much with them. But the things you need to do, you gotta have one. This is a multimeter. This is a Fluke. You don't have to get a Fluke. You can go to buy, well, I don't know if Radio Shack even is in business anymore. Go to Amazon.com, buy whatever multimeter is $20 or whatever. This allows you to test voltage, which is the important thing. You gotta make sure you get good 5 volts everywhere, and it lets you test consistency. It beeps when you have contact between two wires. So this helps you make sure that actually your wires aren't cut, which does happen, especially when people throw around the arcade games. Those little sharp edges at the bottom rip up boards, cause lots of problems. That's really the two uses of the multimeter. There's more. These Flukes do a lot more than that, but honestly, that's all I ever use it for. Oscilloscope, super important. Either an oscilloscope or a logic probe. Logic probes look kind of like this. This is an oscilloscope probe, but they're a little bit thicker. I don't know if I still have mine. I don't really use my logic probe anymore ever since I got the oscilloscope. Oscilloscope can do everything a logic probe can do, except that they're a lot more expensive. An oscilloscope costs a couple $100. For a logic probe, you can get for like $20, but it's well worth the oscilloscope. People say get analog oscilloscopes. I don't agree with that, and I guess maybe if you're fixing analog games, like vector games. But I like this digital one. It's got all kinds of features. It can tell you the frequency something's running at, which is really important for fixing and diagnosing sync circuits. This thing can store and upload to the network. I've never used that. It can actually also upload video to this, to my monitor. But I don't have it going right now. Talking about monitors, I got 3 monitors here. Okay, I've got, this is the monitor that goes to the JAMA test bench. This is my PC monitor, and I'm just going to turn this off and pull up my PC for a second. Okay, so this is what I usually use this middle PC monitor for, is schematics. As I'm working on a board down here, I can look at they refer to the schematics up here. You notice I have a left monitor. That, of course, is used for watching Netflix and Hulu or whatever, if I'm not listening to music. The other thing about that I will use this PC for is to control my ROM programmer. Okay, I've got a Willem GQ4X universal programmer. It's amazing. It's like 99 bucks. Programs everything except for really the really old stuff like 2708s, and it has problems with, I don't know, actually it's the programmer or just that I got crappy TMS 2532s and 2516s. Everything else it programs like a dream. I also have this, which I picked up. Really useful. It's on eBay. It was like 50 bucks. TL866. This is amazing because it lets you program PALs, programmable logic arrays, and GALs. I don't remember what. Oh, array logic. I don't know. They are tiny little chips. They're like EPROMs, but different. This also is amazing because it lets you test logic chips. Like I could put a logic chip in here, like this, and actually test to see if it's good. So if I fix something I think it's bad, I have a way of testing some things in circuit that's not foolproof, but then I'll often take out the chip and test it in here if I'm not sure. So that's great. I mentioned that I have something that you can use to test chips in circuit. Ta-da! That's the HP 10529A logic comparator. You literally plug, well, you put in the chip that you want to test. You have to have a real one, and you put it on these little boards. Put it in there. Then you flip this on the chip in question in the circuit while it's running, and it will actually tell you if it tests by comparing what this thing sees and what's being output by your actual real chip on the board. It'll tell you if the chip is good or bad. Not 100% foolproof, but it works pretty well. Really useful. There's some caveats you need to know about when testing. Basically, the caveat is just don't assume because it says something is bad that it's bad. Usually if it says something it's good, it's good. But if it says something that's bad, it often has false positives. But that's enough about that. What else we got on the test bench here? Well, we've got a hot glue gun, which is important. Down here I've got sockets, RAMs, and ROMs that I commonly use for quick access. I got to redesign my, or I have to redo this bottom shelf because I just cleared it out. It used to have CRT monitors until last week, and I moved them out, so I have to organize this for maximum efficiency. Oh yeah, I got my pull-out keyboard and mouse. I didn't build this whole desk myself. It was at Home Depot one day, and I'm like, ooh, they have a desk for 70 bucks, and it looked awesome. And then I realized that I would want so many other features on my desk, so I built this. First thing I've really built out of wood myself that I can think of. It's got wheels, rolls, pretty cool. Proud of it. So up here I mentioned I do have a little computer. This is like a $70 Dell Optiplex. I just got on eBay used. It's like a Core i5 from probably like 2011. Runs Windows 10 fine. I can watch my movies, look at my schematics, surf the web if I need to look up information. Works perfectly fine for 70 bucks. You don't need anything special. And probably now they're even cheap. You probably get them for 50 bucks. That was including shipping, so good deal. This, you need one of these. If you're going to do any serious board repair, you need a good desoldering gun with vacuum pump. This is a Hacko 808. They don't make these anymore. They have a new model. I don't know what the new model is. It looks like a Fisher-Price toy. The new model, it's like blue and gold. It's kind of cute. That one probably is amazing too. This thing is amazing. You literally can take chips off like in seconds and they reuse them because it doesn't damage them because it works so well. It's fast. Amazing. You get one of these. One of the best investments you can get is one of these. This and the Fluke. And a logic probe and a soldering gun. They're required if you want to fix boards. Okay. I couldn't fix anything in the world until I got one of these, and this just changed my life. Got my generic soldering gun. I had a nice Weller. I love that Weller, but it broke. And then I bought a new heating element, and it didn't work. And then I got upset, and I just threw it all out and bought this on eBay. Not eBay, Amazon.com. It's cheap. Don't forget your if you're working in an enclosed space, you really need to get some type of ventilation. Probably should have more than that. You got your little solder things. And talking about ventilation, also wear one of these when I'm soldering because I don't want to get cancer, and I don't know if this will stop me from getting cancer, but it makes me feel better about it. So what else we got here? You got your standard assortment of tools. You got some, you need these guys. I don't even know what these are called. These are like just Sharpie little pinchers. You need those. Needle nose pliers, long screwdriver, pegboard that likes to drop my pegboard holders. It's amazing. Some electrical tape. Toothbrushes for cleaning off the flux from the soldering. Scissors, knives, whatever. What else do we got here? Oh yeah. You're wondering why? What is that? That's a Colt AR-15 A3. And you're like, well, okay, well, what's that for? Is that for like shooting boards that piss you off? And no, I'd never shoot a board. That would be cruel. I actually did have a board that someone put what looks like 2 9mm shots through it. I don't know where it went. I was hoping to show that. But this is my, just for those people who think they, might want to look up where I live and steal all my cool equipment. This stuff doesn't have much value. It's my whole setup here. It costs less than $1,000. All right. So don't break into my house because I am armed and dangerous.
And I'm a pretty good shot.
That said, gun safety, everybody. That thing is not loaded right now because I don't want to accidentally shoot myself. But anyway, what else we got? We got workbenches with all kinds of boards that someday I will get around to fixing. That will never happen. Most of these boards have been up there for years. Although I do take I take one down every so often. Got random parts. I probably don't even know what those things are in there. But you got to have a shelf and put stuff on it, Oh yeah, look at this shelf. It's just full of mess. I actually hate mess, but I'm too lazy to come down here and clean it. Again, random stuff. One other thing I want to show you, we'll just scroll around here, is this. No, not those. This is a little thing I made. It's just a bucket full of concrete, and I think a 2-inch, maybe 2.5, 3-inch, I don't know. I'm not into plumbing. It's a pipe, PVC pipe. And I just got this little box on Amazon, because I buy everything on Amazon. It was like 20 bucks. And I put all my chips in here, so I can easily get them. So you can see I have them, all my Logic chips, my 74 series LS chips. All ordered in numerical order, so I can easily get quick access to them when I need them. Really like this. This thing is amazing. One of the best things I added to my bench. So that's about it. That's all the equipment. Basically, I think that you actually more than enough equipment than you need. You don't need all of that stuff that I have to have a good test bench, but that's what I got. And if you're looking to set up a test bench, maybe look into some of these items, and hopefully helps you out. Take care.